Oh, very quick hit of adrenaline when your name's read out. Well, this is my motto, this is my badge. A lot of people have seen me wearing it, there are badges at the back. It means that if services, agencies, venues, facilities, museums, new art centres, am I getting it? Want people to engage with them, you have to go out and talk to them. It's no use sitting in your building saying, please come and work with me. And I first began doing this way back. This kind of pre-digital blur here is me sitting in a community centre, which was among the first places I came across that kind of embed themselves in cultures and places and the people they work with. Blackness Environmental Arts Team was another early one. Some of these are a bit yellow, it's because they're printed on parchment, you know, they're a long time ago. And public art has had a long history locally. It's exposed people to the diversity of visual arts. They don't always do full consultation, but they've always tried to represent the city, the history, the people. Dundee Arts Centre, way back, where were we? 1988, put together a community arts team of which I was a member, which worked right across Tayside. And it was not building based, it was wonderful. Partnership working out with community centres, social work, schools, everything you could imagine. A lot of you will remember this Witch's Blood. It was a gigantic, ultimate and mass community involvement done by going out there and working with people out there. The follow-up opportunities weren't always there because there wasn't a baseline of outreach, which is what we were trying to develop. As time went on, though, people widely began to accept arts as part of their community life. During this period, I saw creative engagement beginning to kind of integrate into community education practice, starting to change from just being entertainment and containment, which is what it was first thought of as. Dundee Contemporary Arts, after the disaggregation of regional councils, the new Arts and Heritage Department hung its hat on the hook of arts. It tackled the creation of Dundee, which did have an ambition to draw in the local and national, international communities. And has it succeeded in doing that? Is it out there? That's the question to ask. Shortly, the Natural History team at McManus was reconfiguring its natural history displays. And because it was environment, they went out and brought in and blurred the lines between the outreach and the in-house work. And that began to really be powerful. Environment work is very typically like that because it happens out there. Shortly after that, I began to work much more with landscape architects, and this was children creating impressions on bricks that were then installed in their play park. So it was really permanent. It's still there, Crescent Street, off King Street. Baxter Park restoration was the major project for me for the next few years. Creative consultations about people's relationships to physical places became really powerful because it was happening over time. We really got embedded in local community plans, and it helped us to access funding, and the process was starting to build momentum. Young people getting into parks, taking photographs, as the teacher said, after they'd finished taking photographs up each other's noses, but because it was extended, there was time for them to start to really build relationships with their places. And this influenced the refurbishment of the park. And the adults, oh my God, the adults, they started to play, there was time, they really relaxed. We were out there with them, and this existed for 5 minutes, but the photograph's there forever. And they played with what was around them. This is a reflection in the window down the side of the Baxter Park, the new centre. And this is just a small selection of the many, many people that created this huge mosaic. And the mosaic's only evidence of good process. It's a great piece of artwork, and the fact that it's never been vandalised, despite being only a few hundred yards from a secondary school, shows just how involved people were. And when you can get young people to get together with you and paint out their own graffiti so that you can put up the mosaics that they've made on the side of a building, and then there's no more graffiti in that space for a year, and next to nothing after that, that tells you your process is building, you know, real power over time. Taking people out and developing environmental strategies so that they observed the places, they did activities in the places, and they told us what needed to change. This is the Miley, and it was flooded. That evidence went into a funding bid which brought in the money to change the place. So it's not about just keeping people busy. There's power, but it's in the dialogue you have. And not to forget that there are simple ways of doing it. It doesn't have to be expensive. This is drawing with water. The drawing lasts 5 minutes, but the child gets engaged with the open space. Really quite a magical experience. So, nevertheless, when the opportunity came to go independent 2 years ago, I took it because it was always going to be limited what you could do within a local authority structure. And the latest thing for me is the public art for the Crescent, which is the new Life Services building at Whitfield. The engagement process has been really wide. We've tried to capture the spirit of the people and the place, and it makes it very complex and subtle because there's been a long time. And the next image is a real sneak preview. Nobody's seen this before publicly, what you're about to see. This is an in-construction part of the new the new public art that's going to be installed the week beginning the 10th of March. And this is being made in Glasgow. And we're very, very excited because we've put our money where our mouth is. At last, we're going to find out what happens when the outreach process is really tested. When you go out there, work with people, and reflect back to them what you think they've said. And then, of course, there's this. And what is this going to do? Is this going to get out in among those communities? I so hope it will. It's the message to all of these agencies, all of these service deliveries is you're not out there doing people a favour. The exchange gives you something back, but you don't know what it is until you have the dialogue. So I'm asking all of you, please, please lobby for people to go, for agencies to go out and spend time out there. It's not just about bringing people into your building, it's about the dialogue. Thank you very much.